Good morning, witches. What's up? I got my All of Us Feminist Witches shirt on. I'm going to bring Christina on. Good morning. It's Tuesday.
Hey, lady.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I got my sexy I'm still tired voice on today.
I'm trying to, yeah, I'm drinking coffee to kind of get mine going, so.
Yeah, I'm a little tired, man. This quarantine shit ain't easy. I'm pooped today.
I feel like everyone hit a wall this weekend and into this like everyone's starting to get a little stir crazy. I talked to more people on the phone this weekend than I have in a really long time.
You know what I saw a
Everybody's
lot
like
of?
starting to.
I saw a lot of this weekend is people I believe that yes, they are super going stir crazy. And so I saw a lot of them with their families back at the park by our house. Um,
Yeah.
no masks,
Oh,
no gloves,
Stephanie.
out at the store, all that shit. So I think people are
Yeah.
like, I'm done.
People
And
are people are
I'm
starting to be
like,
like, I'm good.
right?
Everything's
But
fine.
that just gives me the more of confirmation that I need to stay home longer because people
Yeah.
just don't care. Good morning, Steph.
Yeah. What's up, Stephanie? Hi, Cece. What's up? I was just over in the house party app talking to them, saying hello in the
I
morning.
love that app.
I
I
know,
my
that's super fun.
sister, right? My sister hooked
We're
me up
playing.
on that app. I did. Hello, Janelle. I did not know, however, that if you don't lock the room, anybody that sees that you're online can jump in on the conversation.
And
So
you're
I
just
was
like,
sitting
we're
there.
talking about inappropriate things.
I was sitting there talking to my sister. Like three of her other friends and my cousin jumped in on the conversation, and I was like, "I'll just call you back. I'll call you back later, sister.
No,
I can't do this. It's too
you
much."
weren't ready for that.
No, girl. No,
Yeah.
I wasn't. Not.
Yeah.
Was
I
not.
didn't
So
yeah,
what have you
I
been up
hadn't
to?
thought about locking a room. We were playing Pictionary the other day, so that was
Nice.
yeah, it was fun.
That's
Like a
really
Cards
cool.
Against Humanity situation. So
Well,
yeah,
one of
anything
my
to like I mean we're just trying to find new ways to like connect and be with
yeah,
people and
one of my friends just moved back to South Africa, so I'm wondering if that app would work for her on her phone because we have this
I
group
mean it
message, right?
should.
We have this group message, but she's been missing all of the posts because she changed her number because now she's in South Africa. So she's like, I really want to
Right.
get back on the posts.
Yeah. Yeah, it should. Yeah, Stephanie's saying it should. I think it's app based, so as long as you can get on that app and have a connection, it seems like it would work.
Beautiful.
So,
Beautiful.
welcome in, you guys. Every Tuesday we go live at 10 a.m. We decided that during this quarantine, but I think we'll continue it for as long as we like.
Yeah. As long
And if
as
you have
we like.
questions, go ahead and ask questions. There's a question bottom at the bottom, little icon at the bottom. You can ask us questions if you want to know something about witchy shit. We'd love to answer questions that you want to know, but we just generally talk about random stuff, what
You
we're
know,
doing.
like penis and vagine and all that
My
bathroom
hairy
talk.
armpits, our webbed toes. Um, if you've missed it, let's catch you up. We both have webbed toes. We both have the same birthday. We're both
Yep.
witchy bitches, and yeah, we
Is
both.
that your barn or your shed back there? Steph wants to know.
Yeah, this is my shed. We got it because our neighbor pulled it off of one of his he's a real estate investor. He pulled it off of his one of his houses and gave it to us in exchange for like a foot of land.
Oh wow.
From so when he built a fence, he was like, how about I give you guys this shed, you can tear that. There was a terrible shed, it was just like a spider den, and we got this shed. It was hilarious, so you could tell it was actually like some teenagers like
Hangout
safe
zone.
space. It was covered in like corn posters, you know, like KORN, and like all this memorabilia from like, so yeah, it was amazing. Oh yeah, totally. And right now it's got Evelyn's
really
water
does.
table in front of it.
It really does look like a photo shoot opportunity.
It does. Yes. So we
You
could
could stand out there with a big old piece of straw.
That's
you
right.
know?
My 10-gallon hat. Yes. Yeah, all the things are blooming, you guys, and I want to so look at this. I saved this. Where is it? You can't see it right there. This is red clover. Do you see her?
So beautiful.
So I saved her from the lawn, and she was like tiny last year.
I think I have those growing all over my lawn. How
Yeah,
did you save it? Did you dig it up?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, I just said, hi, what's up? And I pulled her out and brought her here.
She's gotten huge.
She's gotten absolutely huge, and she's got lots of babies, and I'm excited to see her bloom this year. Last year she bloomed too. She bloomed later in the summer, but she was still really small, and this year she's just grown crazy. So, of course, red clover is really good for teas. It's a heart-opening herb, and it's good for your yoni.
It's anti-inflammatory too, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got a ton of good properties.
Yeah.
And
it grows in Washington, so that's nice.
Yeah, it's native.
Here's Jen and her band.
Yeah, right? Makeshift band with spoons and pots and pans. Sounds about right. Sounds about right. I never did you ever take a musical instrument and like do that thing? Was that something you did? Like played in band or whatever?
Oh, you know what? I didn't, I always wanted to do an instrument, but my grades were never good enough because I ditched school a lot. So instead I was in choir, and some days that was the only class that I went to.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Also because I had a crush on my high school choir teacher.
You're like, I'm showing up for that one.
Yeah. So ridiculous.
That's
stupid.
Amazing. Yeah. Yeah, I also always wanted to take an instrument, but never really had my story is that I never really had the discipline to do it.
Yeah.
But I also, like, my mom made me take the clarinet. I wanted to do like the drums or something loud, and she was like, why not a clarinet? Stephanie played the flute, which I love. Lizzo plays the flute.
I have, let's see, in my house I have several guitars. I have a piano. I got those little recorders. And I don't know how to play any of them, but I just love sitting at the piano sometimes, just making notes.
Little plinkalies.
Exactly.
I did take, we got the chance during junior high school to take piano. And I learned some songs, and I felt like I could, play a little bit. And I like tinkering around too. Evelyn started taking the piano, and it's just getting them to practice anything is so frustrating. And hats off to any parent who's like, no, you're doing it. Because I know a lot of people who were like forced to do that stuff, and they, now have like something that they get to do, right? They get to sit down at a piano and cathartically play their emotions.
But sometimes when they're forced to do that stuff, they grow up and they're like, yeah, I never want to see one of fucking again.
That's right. I mean, I think there's got to be a love for it. My friend she played the music that is in my podcast. She did like an intro for me. She's an incredible piano player, and she learned concert pianist so she like learned it so well. She's just really good at it. And then she can break the rules, right? In just the right way where it's like, ooh, that's genius. And I love it.
Nice.
Good morning, Laura. Good morning, Marilyn. Oops. Hi.
I always wanted to learn how to sing opera is what I wanted to learn.
Yeah. I never wanted to do that. I do love singing karaoke, though. I love singing, but I never wanted to sing. Opera felt very like a lot for me. But I went to school. I went to PLU for a while, and everyone sings there. Everyone, all of my friends were singers there.
We need to do a house party karaoke night one night because
For
I love
fucking sure.
karaoke.
I'd love to do that. I don't know. I wonder if there's an app that does that where you can.
Oh, I'm sure, honey. There's a fucking app for everything anymore.
I mean, maybe we could Zoom might work for that because you can play Spotify on Zoom and play that.
Yes. Yeah, that definitely work.
Yeah.
Definitely. So,
Mm-hmm.
I started my second group of Path of the Moon.
Yes, yes.
In true Virgo form, I decided to reconstruct the entire syllabus for this.
Listen, that is so fucking true. Every time I do it, I'm like, if I redesign it, I have to touch it. I have to touch it. I have to retouch it.
So I redesigned the
Nothing's ever done.
syllabus, and then caught myself like, oh shit! Now I have to do all the itineraries and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
now you have to like back everything else up. What's up, Jenny?
But what I did learn is I really enjoy this second version that I did a lot more than the first version. So then that way I can just reuse it and maybe touch it up occasionally, you know?
Yeah.
The custodian at PLU passed away in the
early 2000s. So if she was still working there, I was there from 96 until 98, 99. And then I declined my degree.
I know, that's what you said.
Yeah. And I finished at Evergreen.
A lot of people like Evergreen College.
That's because it's badass.
Good things about it.
It's like a utopian. It's utopian society there. To be honest, like I bet it's still that way. And yet, you know, the outsiders, like anybody who's red-blooded American in Olympia, thinks it's just the worst. But
I think that they think it's too liberal. Is that what they're
thinking?
Yeah,
I mean, it's super liberal. We didn't have grades. We either finished the work or we didn't.
Uh-huh.
And we got our credits by finishing the work and showing up.
Got it.
Imagine that. Not by
all these tests and all this grading shit.
Yeah, and we didn't have any sports teams, which I really got behind. So there were a lot of hacky sack circles, and there was frisbee. I think we had a frisbee golf team, which was kind of a joke because our mascot was the gooey duck, which looks like a big penis when fully extracted, right?
Oh, that's fabulous.
It's really good. But I actually, my time there was really formative for me.
Good.
I learned more about people, and it was just a really good school.
I think sometimes when you're not focusing on being graded, you can actually focus on doing the work, and really putting in your 150% into the work you're doing, because you're not worrying about getting that grade and being faced with a grade,
Well, there wasn't, they looked a lot about something called pedagogy is like the relationship between power in two things. And so they were always concerned with the power dynamic of a teacher-student relationship in terms of a teacher deems something worthy to know. And so if you know it well, then you get the gold star.
Right.
But in a pedagogy, the students decide what's really important about and it's really, I mean, it actually engages you to you have to question things. You can't just kind of fake it and read some book. It's like you actually have to have your own opinions about stuff. And I loved it.
Speaking of books.
Yeah.
I got it. I'm so excited. I've been reading it.
Have you? Yeah. I brought mine out too because I knew you had gotten it, and I thought maybe we could talk about it.
And look at what else I got. So if you don't have this one, you need to get this one. This one's really great too.
Oh,
this one's really great.
So good. That book, Anatomy of the Spirit, I've talked about it on my podcast before. I think I read that for the first time in 1999. And it changed it changed my life. But I've given that book away to a bunch of people. I have one right now, but I'll give it away and then I'll buy it at like a used bookstore.
Yeah, whenever you see it.
Yes, which is
I
have
always
another birthday twin who does that.
I always end up giving away this book called The Power of Receiving.
Ooh, I haven't read that.
Dude, that book was life-changing for me, Jennifer. You need to read it.
I need to read it, and I think it goes along a lot with what's happening right now, where the healing of the feminine has a lot to do with being able to really receive,
being able to say, hey, I am worthy.
I'm worthy of receiving this gift,
not just giving all the time.
Yep. Yes. I think it's so interesting that it's one of the biggest things, and it came up this week, where people reject gifts given. And when you're not sure, like, it's like, yeah, what am I trying to say? There's just this relationship between your self-worth and being willing to receive. And if you're not conscious of that dynamic, then you can reject so much goodness that's trying to come to you through the universe. And you can fuck with your magic. So you have to be really clear about why it is if you don't, it's because it's okay not to accept a gift, right? Because sometimes those gifts come with strings,
right? And
you should not accept them, right? And my favorite thing is like when I can trust somebody's yes and I can trust their no. Right. There's people I don't ask to help me because I know they'll say yes, even if it does not serve them. So I don't ask them for things.
That's awesome on your part that you recognize that instead of manipulating that, because there's a lot of people out there that do.
Well, I found that energy comes with too much shit, and I can't bear it. I can't bear it. I'm not willing to engage in that.
Then there's the people out there that will accept it. They'll help you, and then they want something, whether they say it or not. They want this huge recognition or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or even if they give something, it comes with a transactional. There's something, and my intention is to be as clear as possible. So if there's an exchange, the exchange is mentioned right up front.
Yes.
If it's an exchange, it's an exchange. If I'm offering, it's freely offered, open hand, no expectation. And that's my work. If I say that and then I all of a sudden have fucking weird feelings about it, that's my work to do, not theirs. And I should not be going up the flagpole trying to get something from anything.
That's exactly it.
So the more I align with that vibe of like, okay, can I freely give this? Because if I can't, then I say, no, I need an exchange for this, or whatever it is.
For sure.
Or I just simply say no.
100%. I agree.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So what kind of magic are you doing this week? Beltane's like fucking right around the corner.
Yes.
Actually, my Beltane tree has already bloomed. So to me, Beltane is already taking effect. But of course, I felt it early in April, the veils lifting. And I've been getting these messages that have literally gotten me out of bed at like midnight. I've run downstairs to write them down. Spirit. So it's amazing. I love it. So what are you doing for magic?
I love that. I just want to say about that, like this time between Ostara and Beltane, the veil lifting. We always talk about it in the second half of the year with Samhain and stuff, but it's like, it's here and now. Yeah. I'm doing that.
People don't realize sometimes how much the veil lifts at Beltane as well, because we're in Beltane and Southern is in Samhain right now.
Yeah, so it's when, and the vulnerability, and actually in this book, I think it's the blooming house. And we'll have to do a whole thing on this maybe, but
we need to do a book club on the Book of Houses.
Yeah. Well, so
and during that book club, you teach everybody.
Well, so I'm doing an astrologic lab, and it's based on this book, but it's bringing in the moon work.
Oh, nice.
And I have 5 clients right now, a couple who are maybe on this live. And we've been testing out my theories around how the lunar cycle can work into this and coaching them. and teaching them to use their natal chart in this way, which has been, I think, really amazing. And it's kind of uncovering some pieces of the moon work that I, been cycling around for a while.
Well, let's face it, lunar work phases with everything.
For sure. Yeah.
So.
And so, 2 men wrote this book, which bless their hearts.
Surprising.
Right?
That's surprising, to be quite honest.
I know, right? So
I know that sounds completely sexist.
I know it does. But then you think about it, it's not. This is a productive use of astrology. It's and it's about the sun. So,
yes.
Right, solar energy. So
right.
then, and my friend April is doing this as well with her moon mandala mentoring. It's less astrology focused, but still, has that piece in it. Because I want to know. So then, yeah, the moon through your cycle. Then we can, the lab is going to, also pull in other planets. So if other planets are your ambassador, like to me, Mercury is such an ambassador for my whole life because I'm so mercurial. So that's probably really where I'll land. But Jupiter going through this harvest cycle, all the planets that transit through, you can kind of use them for different inspirations, which I love.
Yeah.
But the blooming time, I think this talks about the veil. It's really interesting because so in the sixth house, it talks about
you must pay special attention to this month.
And your health. Oh no,
that's the healer.
What is? Oh, it's the actual. It's the. Now I don't know where it's at. It's so funny.
Reproductive growth. Hold on.
Where it talks about, I feel like it was the budding time, but maybe it's the threshold. It's the sharing day. That's what it is. Because it's about receptivity. So it's just sharing day. So in this book, it's super cool, you guys. You get like 4 personal holidays. But sharing day could also be called fertility day or surrender day or day of receptivity. So talking about being able to receive. It says to share does not mean to give anything to anyone. To share means to release all control, to surrender completely. It is an extremely vulnerable position to place oneself in. And I love that thought about that. And I think it aligns with that veil thought too, where, spring is so open, right? And I took a picture of a tulip the other day and it was so open. And it was just like, oh, and there's such a vulnerability of like opening yourself, being fully yourself, showing up exactly how you are. And that vulnerability changes you. It actually shifts your vibe completely.
It's so funny.
And it's not for all the time, right?
No. And it's so funny that we're talking about vulnerability. I just posted in my business Facebook yesterday how grateful I am for the client, you too, for how grateful I am for the clients that come to me for spiritual counsel, healing work, energy work, all of those things, because when they're coming to me, and a lot of people don't realize, they're coming to you and they're opening their souls to you.
Yeah, exactly.
But to do that is to trust on such a level that sometimes I don't believe that they even comprehend it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I wrote on there, I'm like, I thank all of you clients, and I'm so blessed and so grateful and so humbled at you coming to me and allowing yourself to be so vulnerable to receive these services from me.
Yes.
And as a, I'm going to say as a healing and mystic arts practitioner, because I don't like to call myself a healer. It's not something I like to do. Because you heal yourself. I'm just like, here's the tools.
A healer guide. I'm like,
so as a practitioner, like sometimes I have to catch myself because I'll just run through, and I'll say thank you to Spirit, for giving them the messages and everything. But I'll forget to really take into consideration the sacrifices that my clients are making to come and see me, and they're sacrificing their control. They're putting that ego to the side for a minute.
Yeah.
And it's really, really huge. It's really huge when someone does that.
It is huge. And it's like, you know, I have some clients, and Laura's in the lab. She's here. I think maybe she's still here. And yeah, like there's this, you know, we formed a relationship around that work, and it's really beautiful to feel as though I'm a channel, I'm an agent, I'm somebody who can, you know, guide them through some of this stuff based on, you know, my work, right? And
Right.
Like you do, like it's like we hold ourselves so that we can create that sacred space for that other piece to come in, and yet there's this important piece I think we all feel where there's a polarity that can shift and there's too much power, right?
Yes.
Or all the answers need to come. And my work always, and I know you do this too, it's a point of encouraging them to take in the message, receive the message as they see, right? It's like
Correct.
I'm translating, and what do you receive? You know, really be with that, because your reception of it is up to you. You don't have to receive everything that I offer.
Mhm.
It's not, you know, maybe not in this minute, maybe not later. You know, maybe some stuff is really relevant now, some of it maybe later, maybe some of it never.
Right.
So,
And I've also learned that
I am-
as the practitioner, we also come into this as vulnerable as well, opening ourselves up not only to spirit, but opening ourselves up to the client for comments and,
Yeah.
oh, that's totally wrong. You're totally wrong. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And we have to put our ego to the side and say, you know what? If she or he is seeing this as wrong right now, maybe this message is not for them. Maybe this message is not time for them to receive. Maybe I'm getting a mixed up message from spirit. We have to put our ego to the side so we don't say, oh my God, I suck because I'm wrong.
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It definitely is a duality, and it's true with that power change too. You, as the practitioner, we totally need to keep ourselves put in that certain space
Yeah.
of, I'm not going to let my ego freaking take over right
No.
now. You know,
If anyone who's gotten a reading from me, they'll likely hear me say like, and maybe this comes different through for you, or I'll have like some kind of, because I honestly, I keep myself as clear as possible. I do what I can to, like you say, you know, stay aligned with that channel.
mm-hmm.
But I mean, you kind of, we have to, you know, yeah, we have this relationship with trust in the channel and the divine, but I really believe that it's a relationship. And I say it in the Tarot Collective, it's like, you have to learn to trust that you're the right person to deliver the message.
Yes.
And that's as much work as it is to learn the cards or learn the elements or learn the symbology.
It's a lot of work, because think about it this way too. What were we just talking about?
Yeah.
The power of receiving.
Yeah.
So you're receiving message from spirit. Oh my God, am I worthy of this? You know?
And if you push it away too much, then it starts to.
It's gone. Yeah, it's gone. I mean, it's almost like you turned your back on a gift, and spirit's like, okay, well, guess what? I'm gonna go right over there, and that person's not gonna turn their back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's why I think our work that we do is still so important. That there's a weird sound. I don't know what it is, but do you hear it? It's like me echoing.
No.
Weird. Okay.
I hear you fine on my end.
You guys tell me if you hear it too. So, yeah, there's this receptivity that we trust, and then they get to receive and they trust. It's a whole, and it's all contingent on that. The quality of, I think, so somebody hears it. It's like an echoing weird thing when I talk. I don't know what it's about. But there's definitely like this, it's a whole channel of trust. It's like this, and it's okay to, you know, to learn through it. I think when I was first starting to read, I didn't recognize it as as fully as I do now after doing so many readings. But it's really come through every single time that it's important for the person I'm reading for to do their work as much as
Yeah.
it is mine.
Oh yeah, girl. I
So-
mean, there have been times when I've been reading for someone, and I'm sure you've gotten this too, and that person's like, "Oh no, that's not right. That has
Yeah.
nothing to do with me." Blah blah blah. And I'm thinking to myself, "Oh my goodness, you're approaching me so defensively right now. This definitely has something to do with you, but you
Right.
you have not taken that time to acknowledge that shadow within yourself.
Yeah.
So I'm not pushing this. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I've had to, and this, I've only been doing this full time for, like a year and a half, 2 years really. So, or a year full time before that. So I really only had like one that was really defensive, and I think a lot of them just will shirk away. Like they won't come back. So I'm sure it's happened more. It's just, they don't actually tell me. And they're like, there's a sense that, oh, I didn't know enough to begin with to like really dig in. And I said, at that point, it's interesting because I'm like, I did my work. Now you have to do yours. I'm not sure,
Even if you knew everything,
yeah,
they
it doesn't.
They would not be receptive to hear because they haven't done that work yet. So
And that's what those readings are about.
Sometimes it just doesn't matter. And then I had a client that I dealt out the cards, and she looked at me and she said, "You did those completely wrong. This was supposed to be here." And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And I just went along with it,
Yeah.
Shoot.
I mean, I love going to readers. I've had other readers. We've never exchanged readings, which we should do.
No, we haven't.
We should totally do that.
Yes, we should.
Because everybody does it differently. And I think I learned from others who do their readings. I knock on my deck of cards because when I went to a reader, long ago, she knocked on her cards and I was like, oh, she's clearing them. And that just made sense to me, And
everyone does do it differently. And honestly, I think that is the most beautiful aspect of being a reader. I mean, think about if we all did it mechanically, just all did it the same. You know what I mean? We teach it differently. We practice it differently. And I think that is the best part of that.
Yeah, I think that's the point of it,
Yes.
So, yeah. Well, we went on. Let me just share. Have you seen these? These are the Salvador Dali tarot.
I have seen those. One of my very good friends has them. They're quite lovely.
They are quite lovely. They're very interesting. And Dali painted himself into, like, this is the King of Pentacles.
Yeah.
He's also the magician. Right? So he painted himself into like I at any rate, I think they're amazing cards, and I brought them today just because I kind of felt like sharing that image. But
I brought some cards today too.
Did you?
Do you and I want to maybe take a card draw and take turns giving people the message?
Yeah, we could do that. If you want a card, let us know. And use the question box. I want to see how that works. So you can push the question box and then.
What question box? Oh, you must have that on yours. I don't.
Yeah, maybe if you don't see it, that's fine. Just ask us a question in the comments or ask for a card. And I will just say really quickly, I am doing a witch crafting series workshop on Friday for Beltane.
Nice.
And everyone is welcome. It's going to be at 2 p.m. So nice. I see a question now. Oh, okay. So Stephanie used the thing and she says, me. So we'll pull a card, and then Laura's there too. And you guys, I don't have pen and paper. Or I don't have pen.
Here, I'll write it down. I'll write them down. Don't worry.
Okay.
I got it, baby.
And so you get a twofer. You're going to get a card from each of us. Does that sound good, Christina?
Yes. I today am using my Oracle of the Dragon Fae cards because Beltane's right around the corner.
I love it. Well, and I felt like Dolly felt, because and I didn't know why, but now I'm thinking through, like, he is such a veil, like an edge walker.
Yeah.
The surrealist artists, and there are many more women who I admire in the surrealist artist world. I would love to get a Frida Kahlo deck.
My daughter just got
But I don't think they make
I
it.
think it's called The Literary Women of the Renaissance or something. And it's a tarot deck, and it's got all the women that were authors, writers, poets, everything representing certain aspects of the tarot.
Yeah.
Dude, it's really, really cool. She showed it to me. I was like, wow, that's quite awesome.
Awesome.
I had never seen something like that.
Yeah, there's so many decks.
Mm-hmm. So many beautiful artists.
Yes, so many beautiful artists.
Which one wants to go first? You want me to go first, or you want you to go first?
You go ahead, because I'm still shuffling.
All right. Okay. I'm going to shuffle these babies.
Not that
and
you're not.
Right now I'm pulling for Stephanie, right?
Yes, and then we've got Laura.
And what was Stephanie's question?
She just said me.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to intend these messages for intention for work from now until the full moon, spiritual work that we need to do from now until the full moon. Okay. All right. And Amber, I'll write you down.
Yeah,
too.
Amber is after.
Okay. So here we go. This one is for Laura. This one's for Stephanie. Sorry. And for you, love, I drew Brigitte. And I don't know if you can see her. I hope you can. And she is she says on the bottom, we are one. So this is definitely talking about community and coming together. So let's see here. I love these cards, by the way. They're absolutely amazing. All right. Brigitte says, we are the Fae and the dragon. We are the blood of the ancients and the blood of the star seekers, woven till indivisible, yet each stand working its magic. We are enchanted and practical. We are mothers, daughters, fathers, and sons. You are the wise woman, the crone, the hag, the maiden, the light-footed innocent, the courageous mother bringing forth life from her womb. We are born into blood, and this blood within us is of our ancestors. Our ancestors know that our bloods have mingled many times, and that those of us who seek to distinguish ourselves from each other know not the truth. I am one, you are me, I am you, we are one. Especially talking about ancestors right now. With the veil lifting, Steph, you need to make sure that you check in with those ancestors. And one of the best ways to do it when I do it is I go out into nature and I just sit and I allow them to come to me and talk to me. So curious about fairies and dragons lately. Lovely, lovely card. Thank you. You're welcome, babe. You are welcome.
Interesting. I want to say you just mentioned one of your ancestors too
in
this live. So maybe my life shifted when I created a little ancestor altar.
Mm-hmm.
Shifted. Everything kind of shifted. I pulled for you the King of Cups. Or the Knight of Cups, rather. Sorry. And the Knight of Cups is like this generous, heart-focused, like action taker, someone who leads with their heart. Maybe not with all the answers, but there's a huge amount of trust and generosity. And that's so like working with that energy, being an agent of that trust and generosity, I think, and proving what's possible through that avenue is like what's being called for now and through. And
Yeah, having that trust and compassion and thinking that that compassion is going to be our next step in the world, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so Miss Laura, you are up next, baby cakes. Let's see. For you, I received the Time Guardian, and it says, you have time. So let's go ahead and read him. He's number 7. Once again, these are the Oracle of the Dragon Fae. I'm not even going to say they're one of my favorite decks because I've come to the conclusion they're all my favorite.
Choosing babies, choosing babies.
And it says, you have time. The Time Guardian speaks. The feelings you have of time contracting and expanding are real insights, not simply your imagination. Time is a living dimensional being whose powers include the ability to devote more time to those of us who require it, and for time to speed up or slow down when it may be necessary too. It's in this way that we are able to divine travel through the threads and weavings of time and move forward into seeing our future in truth. We are already there, and much of who we truly are remains an echo. The time beings of the Dragon Fae, of whom I am one, know this and guard and protect you from confusion. Similarly, they can assist you when you require time to be created. If you feel you are short of time, send a thought message to me, the guardian of time, and I will send you all the help you need to meet your goals within the time you feel you have. So, Miss Laura, if you are feeling as though you're rushed, number 1, just take a minute to breathe, for sure. And number 2, put out that message into the universe. Pause, pause, pause. And you will find that time slows down. And one of the ways it slows down is because you open your eyes to your priorities and what takes the most precedence in your day. And then you feel as though you're not stressing to do everything. So make sure that you continuously check in with that.
That's beautiful. I pulled the 10 of Pentacles, which in this deck is like, what?
I love that one.
Yeah, 6 ladies riding on a butterfly.
And they're all
One
naked,
of them's playing
baby.
like
They're
a
all
lute.
naked.
And so there's just this sense of, peace and actual, the 10 of Pentacles is always about this culmination of family and home and things being kind of right with the world. And I know that that's not an easy thing to come by, when everything feels so and crazy. And so in conjunction with that time bending, I think this is a card that says like, find joy, find time for joy and things that have no purpose, which is kind of the opposite of what this would always say, right? But when you have a 10 of Pentacles moment, it's like there's no work left to be done. It's just time for gratitude and celebration. And so making that a priority too can maybe actually lengthen out time and make you feel expansive. I think it's a feeling of expansion within that time, and you can kind of bend time by, it's almost like I hear like whistle while you work, or, like bringing that joy into whatever. And if it doesn't bring you joy, then maybe it doesn't belong in your priorities.
Exactly.
Maybe it doesn't belong in your psyche, or maybe it doesn't belong to take, that much time. It's a quick time.
Exactly.
It's like, because I hate it, I'm going to take 5 minutes doing it and then I'm going to stop.
Right.
Rather than make it dredge out and be like, oh my God, this is, not what I want to spend my day doing.
Right. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love it too.
All right. Miss Amber, you are next. Let's
and
see
if I see someone else joined, Ocean Jones. If you want a card, let us know.
Jones. I like it.
Ocean Jones.
There was another one on there called Candles into Cauldrons or something like that. I really enjoyed that one too.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Oh, good, Laura. I'm glad you enjoyed it. You are welcome. All right. So for Miss Amber, we have Fernia, and she is the Fae of Clarity. She's absolutely gorgeous, right? So let's go ahead and read what she has to tell you. She's all about getting outside and getting in touch with Earth. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Here she is. Fernia speaks. I wish to be honest with you so you understand what it is you think and feel you are wishing for. Do you understand that in order for you to be in connection with all you feel and desire, that there will be what many consider to be sacrifices along the way? So if you're making any changes, you're going to need to sacrifice. Do you understand that what we can offer you is shelter? Yes, soft and sweet, tender and shaded beneath the heat of the sun, a place to rest and sleep and dream. But do you also know that the others will say you dwell in a fantasy land and that what you dream of cannot be? Consider the truth of what it is you wish for and know that whatever you commit to, expectations play no part in the promise I make to you. Because I do pledge to shelter you and introduce you to the magics, to show you the ways of the Dragon Fae folk, and to help you tend to the little ones with me. But I also promise you this, that your supposed nirvana will be muddy and dirty and difficult at times. There is no way for this to be what you fantasize about. You will need to care for yourself and to allow others to be who they are, for this is the path of clarity. So for you, Miss Amber, I think one of the things that this really focuses on is to find your clarity. You have to go ahead and release the fact that other people are not like you. They don't think like you. They don't do things like you. And you have to concentrate on just being okay with just being you and how you are and how you can make changes versus how other beings should be making these changes.
Yes, that's beautiful. And I pulled the Ace of Pentacles.
Nice.
Which in the Dolly world is like a coin coming from a vagina, as far as I can tell. And you know, Ace of Pentacles is so much like that beginning manifestation of, you know, knowing, you know, like the acorn becomes this oak tree. It's written into it, but it doesn't look like it. And in connection with what you shared, Christina, about this message, I think it goes so well because yeah, you have to start with yourself. You have to begin becoming yourself. I actually, on all of my emails at the bottom, I have a Anna Quinlan quote, and it says, the work of your life is not to become perfect, it's to become yourself.
Yes.
And it again, that's this vulnerable place of how you have to receive yourself.
Yeah.
I receive myself. I give myself safe harbor. I give myself sacred space. You think about all the ways you hold space for others so they can be nurtured and grow, which is, you know, part of who we are as humans. But
right.
how we do that for ourselves brings that clarity. There's that clarity of vision. It's like that knowing.
Right.
That being.
And we also have to give up not give up the dream, but give up a little bit of the fantasy thinking everything's going to be perfect on the other side of the fence. Yeah. Everything takes work. Every lawn that's green is loved, and it takes a lot of work, you know?
And
so
it's almost not cutting the dream, but cutting the drama. It's like
yes,
the drama of
exactly. Thank you.
I get to control what this ends up like. I just have to say yes. Like if your yes is contingent on it working
then
out exactly as
yes.
you want, then it's not the thing you want.
Yeah.
Because if you want it, no matter what you have to go through, then that's the thing you go for. Yeah. Right? It's like, it's worth it to me to kind of sacrifice a few things and be open to whatever comes forward, because I know that I'm aligned with who I am. So I'll take the good with the bad, because it's going to be 50-50.
Right. Okay, let's draw one for each other.
Oh, yeah.
One for you.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
And again, this is spiritual work through to the full moon.
Yes, yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Aw, Amber. Love to you. Love to you.
Aw, love you too. Yeah.
Ooh.
I love this oracle deck.
This is funny. I've never drawn this one before. Okay, so this one is called Hideki's Door, and it's a knock on the door. You're knocking on your tarot, you're knocking on the door. Hold on one second. Let's find out what this is all about.
Sounds like Hecate, but
I know,
like
but
maybe
it's
the
Hideki.
male version of it.
All right, let's see. It says, I know you wish to reach out, and yet you hold back. I know you feel drawn to knock on this door and to see whether it will be answered this time, and yet you fear so much. You fear that it will not be answered, that the answer or the face that appears beyond the door will not be to your liking, that if you enter, you may never return. You cannot put your fears to rest, for I cannot put your fears to rest, for only you can do that. But I can tell you what I see. I see a spirit whose flame has flickered low, whose light is in danger of going out if it does not take the next step. For years you have passed this door, and many times you have found yourself here. You may even have knocked at the door only to flee like a terrified child before the door was opened for you. I say to you now, it is time. Reach out, knock at the door, and let what will be, be. So let me tell you, it says a little bit about Hideki, so let me tell you a little bit about her. She's a powerful wee dragon fae who dwells much of the time in the east. With the fear of dragons that was prevalent so much in the west, he stayed away, servicing those who respected what he brought with him. The possibility for new beginnings and of chances taken and delight found. Now the times are changing, and at last Hideki can spread his beautiful doorways between the worlds into the west and even beyond. These doors are between seasons. This cannot be more right on. These doors are between seasons, between worlds, between night and day, and are of transitions and changes. He now wishes to bring to you the chance for good fortune brought through brand new opportunities. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. You got some stuff for brewing.
That's so interesting. I'll post about that later. There's a lot in there. There's a lot. Oh my goodness. Thank you. I received that.
Good.
Okay. I'm going to pull for you. These cards are just long enough where it's hard for my hands.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm very picky about but they shuffle really well. They're like nice stock.
That's nice.
Oh, I pulled two. They came out.
Ooh.
So the Three of Pentacles.
Okay.
And the Five of Swords.
Okay. All right.
So 3 + 5 is 8. But so to me, and I like to use the Dex imagery a little bit more than like traditional, right? But so to me, this Three of Pentacles is certainly saying there's hard work being done, and there's a lot of like, you know, that this is you maybe like redoing your whole syllabus in some way. And it comes from this vision of knowing that you're rooting down, you're like building like it won't always be this way. Like this is the time to do that work where you're, kind of really building that solid ground. But the Five of Swords is saying that shift is coming, where that will be playing too small. You can't really focus too much on those little details because there are larger things to be done. So in this time, you're kind of in these two spaces and making sure that yeah, what's important, picking what's important that will build that foundation, and understanding that that will shift the way you see yourself and the work you're doing. Um, yeah, because, and I love, there's butterflies in this, which butterflies and swords are kind of this really beautiful
Well,
imagery
that's
together.
that's nice, because a lot of time on Five of Swords, you see so much friction and
Yes.
so much anger. You don't really see the beautifulness of the butterflies, but yeah, that's transition.
Well, and he's also
know?
got, there's also this drawing of a female figure here. And it feels very, yeah, it feels very much about transforming, changing your mind, changing the way you act in some way that is in alignment with what's coming rather than what is.
Right.
And that to me is, you know, the hard work is, you know, this feels very meditative to me, even though, you know, yeah, he's got his hands like this on his heart. It's like he's trying to really divine what should be, what could be, right? And he's got this little vision of a town up here, and
it is definitely right where I am right now, making lots of different decisions.
Yeah.
It's not even the decisions that I'm trying to make. It's what is the purpose behind those decisions that I'm trying to come to grips with.
Right. And that's that 5 where it's like, if you change your perspective, then all of a sudden the priorities or maybe the needful things change.
Right.
And yeah, I think that doing that work for the next couple of weeks of really making sure that when you shift something, when your perspective shifts, say, well, is this gonna actually build that long-term vision? So
right.
Yeah. And Laura's making a deck joke because she says, is the deck too big? In my tarot collective, there's like this, I like talk,
it's 10 inches.
Deck picks.
No.
You know, and just like all this, we have so many decks.
We are going to be cut off here in a couple of minutes, my love. So I'm just going to say thank you for everybody joining today.
Thank you, everyone.
And thank you for allowing us to share the cards with you and being receptive to the message. And I love you so much, my sister girl. I love you.
I love you too, sweetheart. And have a beautiful day. And I'll talk to you soon.
All right. I'll see you next week.
All right. Bye.
Bye, babe. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Love you. Thank you.